All right, so I coach a lot of people on how to sell door to door, and I coach a lot of people on how to make thousands of dollars daily selling window cleaning door to door and other services, other home services, right? One of the biggest problems that I see is that people try to control the uncontrollables, right? So this is why I want to give this to you guys today, is because controlling the controllables is the key to your sales success. All right, so in door-to-door sales, it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go your way, days where every door knock feels as though it's going to end in a rejection, right? So when you hear no more times than you care to count. But here's the hard truth, right? You can't control who says yes or no, all right? But what you can control is your attitude, your effort, and your preparation. All right, so when you shift your focus on what you can control, you build resilience, consistency, and motivation. These are the three pillars of your long-term sales success, right? It's when you stop obsessing over the outcome and start loving the process, right? So a lot of sales coaches and a lot of people say this, and it sounds so, oh, that's amazing, but it doesn't really apply to me. Because it's like, how do I love the process, right? It's hard. How do I love the process? The way you start to love the process is to not have an outcome-based thinking. So that's something we'll get into next, right? So focus on the inputs, not the outcomes. All right, so it's a huge problem. Outcome-focused thinking will kill your sales because you're focusing on how many sales you can close, and it sets you up for frustration because sales is full of variables, right? You can't control the homeowner's mood. You can't control whether they have a need right now. You can't control how much money they're willing to spend. If you tie your motivation to things that you can't control, you'll lose the motivation and the steam that you had from the start very, very fast. So bad days will feel overwhelming, and you'll start to question yourself and your sales efforts, and if you're selling properly, and if you're doing X, Y, and Z well. This isn't inherently the problem a lot of times. A lot of times it's literally the output or the input that you're putting in, right? Your energy. We'll get into a lot more specifics later, but there's a lot of things that are going to affect your sales efforts and how you're selling to the prospect, right? So here's the power of input focused thinking. Instead of stressing over the things outside of your control, focus on the inputs, the things you can control, right? So these include your effort, your attitude, and your preparation. So your effort is how many doors you knock on, how many conversations you start. Then we have your attitude. So staying positive, confident, and opening to learning even when things get tough. So a lot of times with door-to-door sales, what we tend to do is we don't focus on our outputs. We don't focus on what we're giving into the customer when we are at the door because we're so focused on the input, like what we're going to get from this interaction, which again is the wrong way of thinking. Next, we have the preparation. So mastering your pitch. Again, this is stuff that we don't focus on when we're focusing on the outcome. So we're not focused on mastering our pitch. We're not focusing on handling objections, and we're not focusing on showing up with energy every day or every door, right? So the beauty of focusing on the inputs is that they're always within your control, no matter what happens during the day. So here's the mindset shift that needs to ensue for you to be successful. Sales is inherently a numbers game, so trust the process. Every no brings you closer to the yes. And this sounds very, every salesperson, every sales trainer, everybody's always gonna tell me this. Every no, if you think about it like this, every no that brings you closer to a yes is a no or time well spent. So you're not going to dread the process, right? This is the process of things. No matter what, you're going to inherently get a ton of no's, no matter what. That's just how numbers work. The only way to lose is by not knocking enough doors, right? The only way to lose is if you don't put in the effort. Effort compounds over time. Every door you knock is an opportunity to learn, practice, and improve. And a lot of us don't get that. A lot of us don't put the effort in to improve and see what we did wrong and what we did right during the sales process to then do better the next time, right? We have to deliberately think about what am I doing right and what am I doing wrong? What can I do better in this interaction? What did I do in that time that I sold that person with Betty what did I say that was so intriguing that made the prospect? It's not luck, this is you selling it. A lot of people focus and think that it's just luck. It's just people who are interested. We're not tour guides, right? We're not out here just presenting the product. Hey, are you interested? Objection, no, I'm okay, bye, cool. Right? We're not tour guides. We don't just explain, hey, here's the freaking product and here's something. If you're interested, you can go ahead and buy this. If not, I'll leave, right? We're salesmen. We get to the door and we explain the product and we overcome objections. We handle everything that's holding the prospect back from landing the sale. And we also have to have a mindset shift, and results take time. This isn't quick success. And yes, you'll have quick success here and there. Yes, you'll land a few jobs here and there. Yes, you'll go out and land $500 in an hour, right? But at the same time, some days aren't going to be like that. So we have to realize that results take time. So you need to stay consistent with your effort, right? Because success isn't built in a day. Some prospects might say no today, but change their mind in a week, right? So when we start tracking our KPIs and we know that we can go back out to this prospect's home because they said no, but we're gonna knock it again in a week because they say they might need it done in a week, then that's a deal then that's something that you need to track and put effort into. Side note, but there's a lot of jobs out there that you missed out on because they told you they want it done in 3 months, but you didn't track that and follow up with them. All right, so I'll digress. So when you stay consistent in your effort, the results will follow, even if you don't see them immediately. Right, guys, the results will come. This just inherently comes with the effort and the process. This is why you have to start loving the process. So here are your key controllables, right? It's your effort, your attitude, your preparation, and your energy. So your effort is how many doors you knock on. You can't control how many people say yes, but you can control how many doors you knock on. All right, so set a daily goal based on effort, not results. Here's an example. Today I'm going to knock 150 doors no matter what. All right, so set effort-based goals, not result-based outcome goals. It's not inherently bad to set those goals, but at the same time, if you're struggling with the process and you're struggling with the mental battle of getting out and doing the effort, then this is something that you need to do. And it will lower the threshold and the level of hardness to go ahead and get it done, for lack of better verbiage. Number 2 is your attitude, so how you respond to challenges. Your attitude is a choice. And I think a lot of us get that wrong, is when I go out there and I get told no 1,000 times that I cannot get out there with my best effort. That is not true. You have to deliberately think to yourself, what are the outcomes that I'm looking for? Why am I out here striving to be successful? What is my goal here? What did that person tell me that got me down? What can I tell myself to bring myself back up, right? We have to deliberately and mentally, right? So there's a lot of mental challenges that happen within sales and something that we need to deliberately focus on. So my example for you is, so after a tough rejection, here's an action plan for you. Go ahead and say, that wasn't personal. Tell yourself this deliberately and mentally. And also tell yourself that every door is a new door, because it absolutely genuinely. And the next person that you talk to could totally be a sale landed that's with high flying colors and just like, I really want it done. Thank you for coming by. Whatever price it is, let's do it. Next is your preparation. So how well you know your pitch. You can't control every conversation, right? But you can control how prepared you are. So practice your pitch until it feels natural and you know how to handle objections. I think a lot of the times, a lot of people fail on this part as well. Objections are the thing that's holding you back from your sales efforts, making you more money, right? Or giving you the X result that you're looking for. This wall between you and where you want to be is objection. There's some other stuff that plays into the part, of course, like tonality, body language, etc. But the objections are inherently what's going to be between you and getting the sale. So I think we push way less emphasis than we need to on objections and studying the common objections that we're going to get on the doors and how to overcome them properly, right? Because if you knew how to overcome every objection that you can think of, don't you think you'd do better in sales? I know. So this is necessary. You need to spend at least 10 minutes a day or even X amount of time in one day, a week, to go ahead and practice, role play, etc. This could be with a teammate. This could be with a family member. This could be in front of a mirror. It doesn't matter, but the practice and the role play and figuring things out are necessary. This is not if and or but. This is necessary to do. So the next one is your energy. All right, so how you show up at each door. You can control the energy that you bring to each door. Even if the last door was tough, you can bring your energy to the next one. You don't have to let them know that you just shit your pants at the last door. All right, so don't show up stinky to the next door being, all groggy and not happy and this just happened to me, so I don't want to put my best effort in. That is not how sales works. You need to, again, deliberately, mentally think to yourself, what did this person say that ticked me off? Take a deep breath, put your shoulders back, smile, get to the next door. This is not personal. All right, so your energy matters, right? So the next door that you go to deserves your best effort. Here's an example for you. Develop a reset routine between doors. Take a deep breath, adjust your body language, and remind yourself why you're doing this. Smile if you have to. We'll get into this a little bit later. But smiling inherently, psychologically makes you feel good emotions. So if you go to the next door after smiling, let's say 10, 20, 30% better than you would normally after a hard objection. So here are some practical strategies for you. Set daily effort-based goals. Instead of saying, I need to make 3 sales today, set a goal for how many doors you'll knock or how many people you'll talk to, right? So here's an example. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to 45 people and I'm going to knock 100, this should say 150, but 150 doors. So these effort-based goals can be amount of doors knocked, let's say 150 doors knocked, let's say 45 people talked to. So you also wanna track the process, not just the result. So you can use a tracking sheet or Sales Rabbit, any canvassing software app or a tracking software app that work. So you're gonna wanna track how many doors you knocked down, how many people you spoke with, how many follow-ups you scheduled. And this is a results-based thing, but how many clients you closed. This stuff is all really good to track. And this goes further into the KPI section of things in terms of key performance indicators, knowing how many people you need to talk to close X amount of deals. Because if you have this information, you can go out there knowing with the baseline of, I need to talk to this many people, give this many presentations to land this many deals. And this all plays into the big role of feeling better mentally to go out there and do what you need to do to get it done. But we won't delve too deep into the KPI section of things in this video. right? But this all helps you focus on progress, even if the results don't show up inherently immediately. The next thing is reward yourself for not just sales. Celebrate every small victory, even if it's a bunch of good conversations that you just had, or the day went really well and you didn't have X amount of results that you were looking for, but you still want to reward yourself. We inherently feel like we need to be rewarded as humans for our effort that we're putting in. We can either do it ourselves and figure out exactly what you like, go buy some ice cream, go get a coffee, go spend a little bit here, go do that, go do this. Or another way to do this inherently that this will happen is if you have a spouse rewards you with, or inherently if your significant other is a good and loving person, they'll give you back rubs or something that just is rewarding for the effort that you put in. And again, as humans, we need this. Psychologically, we need to be rewarded for the effort that we put in. Or we'll plateau inherently and we won't necessarily feel like we want to do this over and over and over every day. This will reinforce the commitment to the process. So here's how to stay motivated on tough days. Even with the right mindset, tough days are inevitable. So here's the order of operations to execute on the knowledge that was given today, or an interactive activity for. Set an effort-based goal today. Write down how many doors you plan to knock on or how many conversations you want to start. All right, so if you've been tracking your KPIs, you can use these to go ahead and set your goal. If you don't have your KPIs or you don't know how many people you need to talk to close X amount of deals, just set effort-based goals that make sense to you in your mind on what you think the effort you need to put in to get to where you want to be. So you can set a goal based on 150 people talked to or 45 people engaged with, whatever you want to do, but that's the effort-based goal process. So next, you need to track your progress and reflect at the end of the day. So track your progress using a simple tracking sheet or canvassing software like SalesRabbit to log each door that you knock and each conversation that you hold, right? You need to see, just like I talked about from the start, where you need to improve, what you need to improve, and how you need to do it, right? So the only way we can do this is by tracking our efforts and seeing exactly what we need to improve on. We will inherently, subconsciously start implementing the things that do well. This is called callousing. You'll start to callous in your sales efforts, knowing what you need to do, knowing what you don't need to do, kind of just knowing. This is also called your emotional intelligence or your EI, but deliberately doing this, you can imagine if you did this every single day and reviewed your efforts for 2 years, how good would you be at sales or good at your craft, right? Really, really good. So again, reflect at the end of the day, right? How many doors did I hit my knocking goal? What did I do well today? What's one thing I can improve for tomorrow? Honestly, I would say do more than just one thing, but if you can, just do one thing that you can improve. If we improve 1% every single day in 100 days, you'll be 100% better than you were today. So here's some daily affirmation to take away from this as well. I can control my effort, my attitude, and my preparation. Every door that I knock on is a step closer to my goal. I am in control of my success, one conversation at a time. If you guys feel like you need help with your sales efforts or any consistency, motivation, mentality, anything like that, we teach everything in Business Launch Pro. If you want to learn how to run your business, not like a side hustle and like an actual company, go ahead and come to me. We have a lot of trainings just like this on X, Y, and Z topic that will teach you many, many things, a plethora of things on top of this. Much, much more than this. You can go ahead and apply for a call in the link below in the description, or you can go ahead and text me on Instagram, the word training. We'll set up a free consultation call or audit on your business. I will personally hop on the call with you and see exactly what is deficient in your company and what needs to be supplemented, and we can go from there.